it's Holly. In today's video, I am showing you another set from the archive, something that I've had for a really long time and we just haven't gotten around to it. It is the 1990 Mr. Fry's Restaurant, and this is one of those original compacts from the early days of the Polly Pocket era, but I don't know, we haven't gotten around to all of these yet. I was going really hard on Polyville for a long time, and I do just have one more Polyville set to get before we've completed that, but I haven't shown you all of these, and this one's really cute. It's a bit odd, I will say. I have some feelings about it. We'll get into that, but without further ado, let's get started. Okay, today's set is the 1990 Mr. Fry's Restaurant, and I am just going to right off the bat call this a supplemental set. And I say that because this set really, I feel like it doesn't come with everything you need. You'll see when we open this up, but this is one of the original Polly Pocket compacts, so the classic style that we all think of when we think of the vintage Polly Pocket line. And again, this is from 1990, so the second year that Polly Pockets were on the market. These are so cute, and there's a few different flower compacts out there. One that looks almost identical is the Polly Secret Garden, which I believe was also in 1990. Don't quote me on that. I can't remember off the top of my head, but slightly different hot pink flower. So there's two that do look very, very similar, but they are just slightly different shades. So again, this one is Mr. Fry's Restaurant. Let's open it up and check it out. So as always, we'll start from top to bottom. It's a really interesting compact. I feel like there's a bit of a history in this one. So at the top, we've got our kitchen. So you've got your range and then all of this prep space. It looks like he also has a microwave. So I'm not sure how high-end this restaurant is supposed to be, but that's the kitchen. You'll notice that there isn't a lot of color in the top half of the compact. And I feel like they could have made a little bit better use of stickers maybe to add some pop to this, but this is one where the color palette is quite reduced. The second level is an eating area with booths. So there are two booths surrounding a fireplace, and you'll notice these two portraits on the wall. I find them very interesting, and we're gonna come back to them. But there are two portraits on the wall, so it looks like, you know, a couple. And then moving down, there are some doors. I'm not sure if this is supposed to be the entrance from the outside. There are some bushes up there, so I'm not sure if that's supposed to be, you know, decorative plants as you walk in, or if that's supposed to be the entrance from the street. It's a little bit confusing. The other way you could look at this is perhaps this lower part is an outdoor patio, and then this part is the door to inside. But the fact that there's a rug in the bottom kind of leads me to believe that it's likely the other thing. And also there's a front door. So the bottom half is more tables, and these are fancier tables. They have white tablecloths on them, whereas up top they were just a booth. So there are some white tablecloths here, some pink chairs that have little blue cushions on them, which is pretty cute. There's a purse on the ground. Interesting detail. I'm going to come back to that one too. There is a rug in the middle here that separates. So this is where they have used a sticker. So basically just here and here. Again, they didn't really bring much to the color palette though. So it's still kind of working with the same colors as the paint for the most part, aside from the black. And then there's an assortment of items around. So over here, there appears to be a phone with a book and a pen and a cash register. So this is where they must do all of their transactions, check people into the restaurant, perhaps you know, what am I trying to say? Take reservations over the phone. And then on the other side, there are some treats. So this looks almost like a little dessert bar, but this leads me to believe that this is supposed to be the inside of the front door, because typically you would walk into a restaurant and then they would have all of that up front waiting for you. So I think that's what they're going for. I do find it interesting that there is a more formal dining room with food on the table, and then there is more of a casual dining room. But even though this has a fireplace in it, it doesn't feel like it's meant to be an apartment to me, because there's 2 tables rather than one and like a chair. So it's kind of an interesting vibe. Now, I want to talk about the figures that come with this set, because this is where I get a little bit thrown. I think if this were a set you were to receive as a child, it would have to be a set that's kind of second to another set. I'll explain why. But because this is Mr. Fry's restaurant, of course, this comes with Mr. Fry, and he is the chef. So he's wearing a little chef's outfit. He's got his white chef's hat, a black bow tie. If you can see the detail in his shirt there, he's got gosh, I'm so inarticulate when I film these videos. What are those called? A collar. It's like a collared open sort of chef's jacket. Black shoes. His feet are a bit funny. If you can see the base here, the base isn't exactly squared on his feet, so his feet kind of come off the edge here, which is a bit strange. So he doesn't sit very well like flat in the little indentations in the compact. You'll see what I mean when I put him in there. He has a mustache on his face, which is very cute, and he has this bright yellow blonde hair. So that's Mr. Fry. The other figure that comes with the compact is meant to be a server, I presume. Her name is Dishy. I don't know what that's about. Is that a name? I've never heard it before. It sounds very strange to me, but this is what she looks like. She almost has this like French maid aesthetic going on. And I don't know if this is meant to be like a French restaurant, but she has this funny little outfit on with this little hat, a white and black dress, white shoes, and she has a blonde bob. Her face is quite interesting too. She looks very done up. So I kind of get this, between the mustache and the outfits, I get this French vibe here. So here's what I find interesting. You've got a restaurant compact, right? You've got 2 figures. There's no customers. So you kind of have to bring those yourself. Either that or he is serving Dishy. Or vice versa, but that's very strange. You don't open a restaurant just to eat with your friend. So I find that strange. So you really would need to have a 3rd figure, or at least one more, from another poly set to bring into this to kind of have this make sense. Also, the tables are all set for 2, so ideally you'd want at least 2. Otherwise it looks like the person just, you know, excused themselves to the washroom in the middle of dinner and then never came back. That's really what that looks like to me. So I find that interesting. And the purse there, right? So it's almost like you're expecting there to be a customer because they've left their purse next to the chair, but we don't have a customer. So I find that very interesting. The other thing that is interesting to me is these portraits. Would you not agree that they look very similar to these 2 characters? This one seems to have more of brown hair, but I don't know, perhaps he's just going through a bleached hair phase, who knows? But it seems like they're maybe romantically linked. I might be just drawing a lot of conclusions here, but that's kind of what that reads to me. So again, if this is their restaurant together, where are the customers? So I think that sometimes that stuff wasn't fully thought through, and there are sets that come with multiple figures, even though the sets are small, so it doesn't necessarily mean just the set's small and you only get 1 or 2 figures. They've done it with other sets, so I find that interesting. So that's why I'm saying that this would be, in my opinion, a supplemental set. You would have to have other Polly Pockets in order to play with this in a way that would, make sense. And of course, here I am always getting hung up on the logistics of how you would play with the set, but this is the stuff that I would think about as a kid. Now, I didn't have this set as a kid. This is one that's new to my collection now that I'm recollecting Polly Pockets as an adult, but it's otherwise a very cute set. I do wish that it came with customers. I do wish that they'd added a little bit more color to it. It's quite a bland color scheme in my opinion. I mean, it's pretty, but it could be more. I will say I'm always happy when I get a set that has a door on it and the door's not broken. Almost any time you go to look up compacts on eBay and they have a door, half the time they're broken off. So it's one of those things that if you are looking to purchase Polly Pockets, one of the things I really strongly recommend looking at is there supposed to be a door on that set? And if so, is it there? Because it's really easy to miss it if you just take a quick glance and then you don't want to receive it and be disappointed. So this is a fun set. I'm glad I have it. I'm not saying that I don't like it. It's just that I think that there were some opportunities that were missed with this one. So I would like to hear from you in the comments. What do you like best about the 1990 Mr. Fry's restaurant? What would you have done differently? I always love to hear that. And yeah, I think those are my thoughts. I'm still very hung up on this. This is strange to me. This is very strange. It's a very strange thing. I'm not sure if they're just playing house or what, but let me know your thoughts. Just kidding. I told you I was going to try to put this in here for you. So Dishy goes in okay, but this one, when I go to put him in, he is really quick to fall out. And I think it's because of the way that his feet hang off the edge. So if you can see this from the side, where the hole is, the feet actually overhang the hole a bit. So it does fit, don't get me wrong, it's just an awkward wobbly fit and it's easy for it to fall out if you don't put it in at exactly the right angle. I also find that the right angle for him, he's naturally leaning, and then if you try to stand him upright, it just looks weird. So it's kind of awkward. And then the way that the table is, you can't put him here because his hand just hits the table. So he has to stand either facing away or facing directly, which, socially makes a bit more sense. But same goes for Dishy. She can't stand there very easily. I mean, her feet fit a bit better, but she can basically only face the table directly or face away from it, which, I mean, it's not too awkward, but it could be better. So that's kind of interesting to me. And you also notice those are the only 2 places you can put a figure. There's no other places to fit one in. So a bit strange, right? Okay. I just wanted to make sure that I showed you that. Okay, so what do you think of this? I find this really interesting, and I will say that's probably my favorite part is the portraits, just because it adds this level of drama to it that I'm not sure. Are they romantically involved? What's going on there? Maybe. It's a really interesting set, but I do wish they had customers. I just feel, imagine if this was your first one. You'd still love it, but you'd also, in the back of your mind, be like, why aren't there more people with this? So I get that. You get a lot of figures. If you have a few sets, it starts to really add up, but it does feel supplemental. It does feel like it wasn't meant to be its own thing because of that. So that's how I feel about it. Thanks for listening. But let me know in the comments, what do you like best about the set? What would you change? How do you feel about the lack of customers? I would just love to know that. We have a few more of these sets that we haven't been through. There's also a lot of things in my collection that are not complete yet that I'm still trying to get pieces for. So I've just kind of held off on showing you some things until I have all of the pieces. I like to show things as complete as I possibly can, but this is one of those sets that, for whatever reason, it just kind of slipped through the cracks. So I'm happy to have shown you this today. Where are we? It's the end of May. How is it already the end of May? If you haven't entered the giveaway yet, all you need to do to enter the giveaway is find the giveaway video from March, click on it, make sure you are subscribed, and leave a comment just telling me what your favorite video on the channel is and why. Once we hit those 5,000 subscribers, we're going to give away the complete 1993 Precious Puppies Polly Pocket set. So I can't wait to draw that. It's just been kind of... we go through these slow periods and then these crazy growth periods, so we're just one of those slower periods right now. But for those of you that are here and following along and watching every week, I really appreciate you and thank you for being here. If you haven't hit subscribe yet, please do that. I come out with new videos every Monday and Thursday, so that's the best way to be notified. But also it really does help out the channel, so if you can, please hit the subscribe button. It doesn't cost you anything. It's free to do that. I'm also on social media. You can come follow along on Pocket Vintage Toys. Just look up Pocket Vintage Toys on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok is what I was trying to say, and you'll find me on there. But as always, thank you so much for watching. I will see you in the next video.